You are now tuned in to Dos Lokos Podcast.
Yo, Flip, we're back. Dos Lokos Podcast, episode 15.
You already know what it is. We over here with Sensei Carlos today, episode 15. Dos Lokos Podcast. Get ready for some awesome information.
Sensei Carlos, a pleasure to have you on our show.
Los Dos Locos brothers, hermano.
You already know what it is.
Glad to have you. Glad to be here, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Sensei Carlos. You already know we're back. Episode 15, Dos Lokos Podcast, Sensei Carlos. Wow! It's Dos Lokos Podcast.
Yeah.
And we're back.
We're back, brother.
How you been, Flip? Everything good, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to be back, man. Glad to be over here with you guys. We got a very awesome guest today, and I hope you guys are excited about it.
We got a special guest in the house. Everybody, man, we're introducing to the world Dos Lokos Podcast, episode 15, Sensei Carlos in the building. Let them know who you be, Sensei Carlos.
Oh, my name is Sensei Carlos. I've been training in the martial arts and working in the community in Rhode Island for 35 years. It's a pleasure to be here. Glad to be here with you guys.
That's awesome, man. It's a pleasure to have you on our show. We are super excited once again. Let's get into this intro. And you already know, episode 15, Sensei Carlos in the building.
Let's go.
Podcast with DJ Flip and Gordito Snow Cones. All right, man. So basically, you know, we know that you're a sensei, pretty much. We know that you practice martial arts. But for those out there, we want to start basically, where you from? And, you know, where you from? What's your background, more or less?
So my parents immigrated from DR in the 70s.
Awesome.
So they met. My dad owned a house in Brooklyn. So I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, nice.
Brooklyn
in the house. I see it. I
You
see
already
it.
know how I feel.
There's always a guy from Brooklyn, man.
There's always somebody from Brooklyn, bro.
I moved from there to Jersey, from Jersey to Rhode Island. I was a young kid.
So what made you want to come to Rhode Island, being from New York City?
I had family that came out here because back in the 80s, there was rent was
Everybody migrated over here, right?
Everybody started coming over, man. Everybody started coming over, for sure.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Definitely. I mean, Broad Street there was nobody on Broad Street.
Broad Street was
Nobody on
What year you came to Prov?
Oh man, like 86.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
86.
That's awesome,
So
bro.
what, Broad Street? You were saying there was no Spanish people at that
Clubs
time?
and stuff. I mean, we were starting to get in there. I had an uncle that owned the house on Broad Street.
Okay.
It was,
Wow.
Yeah, one of the first homeowners like that.
Because
Nice.
my dad came my dad came to Broad Street like around 78.
Oh, wow, that's way early. Yeah,
He came.
That's when it was mainly Italian.
Yeah, it was a lot of Italians because I've had the pleasure actually to speak to people that actually lived in the South Side before the Black migration.
Yeah.
The first black family to own a house was on Harriet Street.
Wow.
And it was a pastor and his wife. The first black family to
Get
buy
out.
a house in the South Side. And after that, I would say when people started, moving out and all,
So-
checking out.
Basically, you're from Brooklyn, lived in Jersey a little bit, and then you came to Rhode Island.
Check.
How old were you when you started practicing martial arts, like more or less?
It was my 10th birthday gift from my dad. My
10
parents divorced when I was like a year and a half, so my dad
Right.
wasn't around, so he was like, let me give him something to do.
Now, you said both your parents migrated from DR.
They met in New York.
They met in New York.
Oh, my my dad's Dominican. He's 13 years younger than my mom.
Oh, yeah. So ya tú sabes.
Ya tú sabes.
Big shout out my
Oh,
Dominican.
Shout outs to Dominicans. That's
So
lit.
I'm curious, Sensei Carlos. And,
You gotta have a sense of humor.
You got it.
And before we continue, I also want to say, Yokoso Sensei.
Yokoso Sensei, what does that mean, Flip?
That means welcome, Sensei.
Oh, that's
In
awesome.
Japanese. Yokoso Sensei. But you have to say it with the language, so I just want to welcome the Sensei in the official language.
It is
So
appreciated.
this is
I'm
my
not
question.
fluent, but I know people that are fluent.
Like I have questions for you that will go beyond the show
Let's do it, man. Let's go.
because
Hey, we got time for
This
part-
got
part
number
A and
time,
part
right?
B.
we can't do
got another
just
time.
one episode with you because I would love to. I have too many questions. So with that background, Dominican parents migrated here, met in New York. How does a young boy in Brooklyn get into martial arts?
So he said it was his 10th
So-
birthday gift, right?
And I was in Rhode Island by then, but I don't know if you guys remember because you're younger than I am.
Right.
We're about the same age. Channel 5 in New York
Yes.
Kung Fu theater.
Kung Fu theater. Yes.
That's how I got
time.
into the martial arts.
So you started watching TV first and all that?
Yeah, it wasn't Bruce Lee. It was like the Kung Fu movies, you know, the 5 Elements ninjas and all that stuff.
Yes.
That's how I started getting it.
So sort of like the Wu-Tang Clan, you know, that they went to all
that was
they're a
major.
little older than I am.
Yeah.
They're a little older than I am. You know,
That's
those guys are
crazy.
like 5 years older. Them, you know.
Yeah. 5 years
Now,
older.
so let me ask you a question. Were you bullied? Like, why did he all of a sudden? Were you bullied as a
I'm
kid?
6'2", and I was
Nah,
the
yeah,
tallest kid in class.
So you never had no problem with that?
No,
because
I was never bullied.
Handsome motherfucker. Like this nigga, he getting the opposite of bully.
Oh man, hey, you know what's funny? Most of my life I was overweight.
Really?
Yeah, almost 3 bills.
Really?
That's
for a long
awesome.
time.
Any sports? Any sports?
Just martial arts, man.
Wow,
you know what?
man,
I never wanted to be known for being like the football player.
Wow.
Because I always
Why?
thought martial arts was like on another level.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I want to do something that's not the typical, oh, you're big, so do
Were
this.
you like an intellectual kid, like into things like that?
I graduated from Mount with 13 different awards.
Wow.
Mount
Shout
Pleasant.
out to you graduating with 13
Student
awards.
of the year.
Yo, a big shout out to Mount Pleasant, first person
Let
to
me tell
shout
you
out.
something.
Crazy.
The year,
Mount Pleasant, Mount Pleasant.
so speaking of the year that I graduated was one of the years that they were accrediting high schools. Mount Pleasant was the only one that didn't receive a demerit.
Wow.
So Classical received a demerit.
Wow.
And we did not. Like the class at Mount Pleasant the year that I graduated, we still stay in touch on Facebook.
That's fire.
Class A, man.
That's fire, bro.
So just going back real quick. So you said at 10 years old. So
10 years old.
What type of martial arts did you start?
Good question.
Oh,
Because we were
Because he
talking
knows
about
a few
that.
different ones.
People only know me for
my
jujitsu.
boy, yo,
He's a
listen, nigga, yo, what's up?
People only know me for jujitsu. They're like, yeah, jujitsu guy. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but if you only knew, it's
But you know
beyond
what?
that.
Jiu-jitsu's just one.
It's one aspect
Of
of
the-
it. Because
wow.
when I first started, I started in Kempo.
Kempo, okay.
Kempo.
Kempo.
So no. So there's both spellings, Kempo and Knpo.
And what is that? What type of martial arts is that? Like, what are they? Because you know, there's different kinds of.
Oh, absolutely.
What are they? What are they?
So,
like, what's
Kempo?
What do they teach you?
The
The
family
main
tree
things?
of Kempo is really confusing. It's
Okay.
really long, but taking over from Rhode Island,
Okay.
right? George Pizzari brought Kempo to Rhode Island,
got you?
like
George Pizzari.
Pizzari.
Shout outs to George Passari.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P..
Oh, sorry.
Sheriff, Air Force, ridiculous. Like brought up pro kickboxers. You know what? Rhode Island's been a hotbed in martial arts because of him. So like you have like legit world kickboxing champions coming out of like Providence, Rhode Island.
Get out. That's
Absolutely,
crazy.
man. The history of Kempo in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
World champions,
Yeah,
legit.
bro.
like
Like they like, and I go back to you like 93.
So you started
martial arts out
there. Now, how long did you keep training at that
Kempo.
one Kempo?
15 years.
15 years. You were loyal to that martial arts style.
10 years old.
10 years old, right? So basically,
Wow.
till you were like 25.
That's when
right?
I started kind of like flipping over to other styles.
And
stuff.
then what did you
But
get
even
into?
even then, I was like, you'd get a guy from another dojo that kind of wants to learn Kempo. I'm like, oh, dude, what do you do? Oh, you do this. So I
Okay.
started jujitsu like 95.
And how old were you then? You were 25?
No, I was younger than that, maybe like 21.
Okay, so
something
you
like
were
that.
training both
Yeah,
at
so
that
no,
time.
no, everything overlaps. You know,
Gotcha.
if you're not doing 2-3 styles at the same time, you ain't trying. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
It's like almost like playing 3 different instruments, like, you know, literally with your body.
Like going from the piano
your
to
body
the guitar,
is your body
right?
is an instrument,
Right.
and some of those chords that you transfer from guitar to music, you also in your body movement. I'm obsessed with fighters and things, and with just because a fighter has to be so mindful of his body. Of a fighter literally like, okay, I swung, ooh, that didn't feel right. That so would you say that besides teaching discipline, it teaches a lot about body, mind, soul?
One of the first things I did, and we'll get into it later, after my surgery, I started doing some motivational speaking at the ACI. So you're looking at
Nice.
people that are graduating programs after committing whatever level
Whatever
of
crime they did, they
whatever
just
it
trying to
is.
get their life together, right?
Right.
I had to go in court today, bro, and it was sad sitting in court and watching people walk out that, you know, that's the
So, but like, at this point, like you have to convince people that whatever happened in the past has to stay in the past. It can't affect your future. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in that rut forever.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And you're already taking a positive step. You know what I mean? It can't be a leap. If you take big steps forward, you tend to slide back fast.
So basically, you're a motivational speaker too.
In every sense of the word.
Bro, you're a walking...
Awesome. Shout out to him,
yo, this dude is use. I don't want to.
Type of talent. So.
I don't want to get too deep yet, because when his book comes out,
Which I'm working on.
You're working on a book?
Come on.
Oh,
we gotta get into
you saw how I
title.
You saw how I threw that in there.
Walking amongst the mountains, I think is what I'm going
Oh, that's fire. Shout out to
and
you.
in Spanish, that's gonna sound beautiful.
Having a book.
Caminando entre las montañas.
Right, because you just keep taking one step in front of the other.
My bro, you are walking. Before we continue, because it's not close to over.
Oh no, we just started.
I want to give you your flowers real quick, and I just want to say I appreciate you so much for being on this show today.
Oh yeah, we definitely appreciate you.
You
coming
are
on.
a walking testimony of strength and resilience, my brother.
Yeah,
It's hard to hear, and I'll tell you why.
He's
It's
very humble.
I look at you,
Very humble.
and I hope you don't, because I catch myself looking at him in a different way, and I hope people in the, or you as yourself don't be like, yo, why is he looking at me like that?
Like, what
And
do you
it's
mean?
just, I just look at him like, tell me more.
So you basically, like, even after this interview, you're still gonna have so many questions. Right?
I have too many questions.
Yeah.
For him. I need the book.
The book. Now, so that's the title of the book, and you're writing this book yourself.
Caminando entre las
How far are you into the book, if you don't mind me asking? Like, how many pages in?
I'm like 250 pages in.
Damn.
I'm almost done. But it's just the rewrites.
Hold on, you guys know I'm stupid. 1 second. Yokoso Sensei. Yokoso. I just had to throw that in there for my bro. Yo, I respect. Yo, listen, man. Y'all don't understand. Like, and as he goes on, you guys are gonna understand more. If you know what I know, you're gonna understand more. Excuse me.
No, you're good. You're good, brother. You're good. So you started at 10, then you did that 15 years. Now I'm just trying to get the storyline correct and getting it together. Now, then you get into jiu-jitsu, right?
Jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, and a little bit of capoeira all at the same time.
Damn. So how did you find time to do it? This is all in. You trained 7 days a week?
I've had the.
Because I'm just doing one sport. It takes a while.
I'm going to tell you a story, and it'll give you an example of what we were talking about.
Right.
When I was testing, I was 11.
Gotcha.
And this is in the book. And my karate, we just finished our test. And my instructor, this is a thing, I didn't realize that this is something that it was an exercise that they do at a lot of tests. I thought it was like my first, I had no idea.
Right.
So he goes up to the little kid and he goes, okay, so little Johnny, what rank do you want to make ultimately? Oh, I want to make a green belt. What do you want to make? Oh, I want to be, what do you want to make? Carlos, what do you want to make?
You're like, I want to be a grandmaster.
No. I told him, what's the highest?
What's the highest?
10th degree black belt.
10th degree.
So I said, okay, I'll be that.
Yo, that's crazy.
Come on, bro. How old can you say that one more
I was
time?
11 years old, man.
What do you know, bro? Like, what? Why you ask that?
Sounded cool.
How many?
Like,
how many 11-year-olds? Like, if I was the instructor, I'd be like,
he laughed at me, which is hilarious.
Like, what?
Listen, I've told him that after I had I had surgery, I told him that he came to see me. He lives in North Carolina. I told him that story. He didn't remember.
Wow,
See how
so long ago.
You can like say something, have an interaction,
Impact,
and you'll never forget it. Like it'll mean nothing to you, but it'll mean everything to somebody else.
Impact, and
That's crazy.
I think that's what you are here for.
So 10th degree.
I think that's what you are here for, to tell your story and make an impact, my brother.
We definitely want to promote.
Going back to what we were
you.
talking about, right? You have to understand that I'm a Buddhist.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Buddhist quotes says that when you meet the Buddha on the road, kill the Buddha.
And what does that mean?
It's not an act of violence.
Right.
It's an act of reality. The Buddha never said he was God. He was just a person who reaches a certain level of understanding. Yes. That's it. Do not deify him. Otherwise, you'll never be able to achieve that level.
Gotcha.
So I'm not a Buddha. this is something that you can definitely. I have bad days, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like bad days.
But you seem like a very positive individual.
Yes.
Because I surround myself with positive, calm people.
Right.
I vibe off of other people's vibe. This is Joan over here. This is the
shout outs to Joan in the
John,
back.
what up? Can we watching you? Yo, we gonna get you
Thanks
out
for
of camera.
coming on our show, man. We appreciate you as well.
Thank you so much,
Super
brother.
chill.
And thanks for
Listen.
bringing Sensei Carlos to the podcast. We appreciate it.
I've had the fortune of coming out of surgery and just bumping into some really good people. And
Yeah.
they've helped me along.
Blessings.
So,
Yeah,
matter of fact, let's
man.
get into. So now you said that you had surgery. What exactly happened? What kind of surgery was it, and how did you find out that you needed surgery?
How old were
And
you?
how old are you?
Because
Good
I know that you brought it up a couple times, the surgery. And first of all, my first question is, how old were you when you went through this? When you went through this situation?
So I was 40. So it was like New Year's. It's coming up. It's
New
my
Year's,
5
your
years, 5 year
anniversary.
anniversary.
5 year
coming up.
anniversary.
Yeah, I call it my
Shout out
second
to you
birthday.
still being with
Your
us.
second birthday, brother.
January
Blessings.
18th.
That's a fact. That's a
So like you were
fact.
reborn again, right?
Absolutely. So I was telling you earlier, I was having like stroke-like symptoms on my left side. So because
Like
of tumor.
numbing.
Yeah,
on the arm.
but what was happening was
Weakness.
it was atrophy. Those muscles were just shutting down because the nerves were shutting down because the tumor was was on the right side of my brain, which means that it affects the left side. So the right side was getting so big, it was compressing the spinal cord. So I was it wasn't working. So the wires were cut.
Wow.
So I had to have steroids to like compress the. So the doctor comes in.
So do you think, before you get to that, do you think this happened from you training so much?
No, actually, you know what? I have a
How
friend
about
of mine-
blows
No,
to the head?
It's a skin tag because I had a meningioma. So I didn't have cancer. I had a tumor.
Okay.
A tumor grows outside.
It just happens. It can happen to anybody?
Yeah. So it's like, you have the skin tags. I just had one the size of a grapefruit growing on the inside of my hand.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
That's
And it was
crazy.
slow. So especially because you mentioned that, I have a really good friend of mine who for a really long time blamed himself. Yo, I did that to you. I'm like, no, it's a slow. This thing took 20 years
Because
to
he
grow.
thought it was a hit or something.
Yeah, because let me tell you.
What, like your sparring partner?
No. So we don't spar in jiu-jitsu. What we do is we run through real life scenarios
Segments.
as hard as we can.
You guys call it segments? What do you,
Pays, techniques. You know what I mean? More like, so like
I know a lot of
waza,
jiu-jitsu,
waza, they call it a Japanese.
So basically you're saying like you really throw down. Like you're throwing down.
No.
for real.
So
Jiu-jitsu's more like strategy.
Restraining someone.
so getting into like the technical aspect of it, there's
yes.
stand-up jiu-jitsu and then there's ground jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
So what I specialized in is standing jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
There are levels. So I'm a like blue belt, first belt in ground jiu-jitsu. I'm starting from ground. I love it, and I've been doing it 35 years. Shout out to Steve Santiago.
Shout out
Steve
to
Santiago, that's a big name, brother.
Yeah, man, that guy's Ricardo Cavalcanti. This dude,
Yeah.
one of his best black belts in my opinion.
Wow.
He's a beast.
Big shout out to all the bubble ears.
So hold on.
They both got bubble ears.
Backtracking real
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
You said that the doctor walked in and what happened?
He was basically like, you got a tumor. You're gonna have to operate, and I was like, okay.
And you were just
was-
like, whatever.
But
So there's a
And
concept.
this is after all the symptoms and him
Yeah,
watching
so-
himself and taking care of everything.
and your arms were falling asleep.
He's being mindful of his body. He felt something in his body. I don't know if that's
He
like
didn't wait
a
till it was too
martial
late.
art
Thank God he
thing.
didn't.
I don't know if that's like that spirit of martial art, but he knew there was
Something was wrong, right?
in the body.
the bigger thing is trusting the people that were around me because I'm a knucklehead.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm like, I feel it. I know what's going on. But my best friend, who's one of my black belts, we tested for black belt in '97, was like, go to the hospital. And I was like, you know what? If he says so, I gotta go
Yes.
because this guy knows me.
Thank you.
Yeah, Josh Wadsworth, another legend in my
Shout out
life.
to Josh. So, all right. So then backtrack. So then you got the surgery done, right? And then what was the process like? How long did it take? Like, did it take a few months for you to recover? What ended up happening after the surgery?
Surgery was like almost 5 years ago. Recovery happened.
Since-
It's still in the process.
Sensei
man.
Carlos,
Yeah.
I don't want to, listen, bro. I would never want to say anything that sounds weird, but Is it clear? Is it okay to say that was open brain surgery?
Oh,
Like
absolutely. I have a
open-
scar from ear to ear.
Open
There's
brain.
a hole that's there. Absolutely.
Open brain.
And you have to
surgery.
be awake for it.
Guys.
I walked out of the.
Guys.
OR.
So you were awake through the whole thing?
Open brain surgery. You heard what I said?
This guy is a survivor. Shout outs to him, man, being a survivor.
You heard what I said?
And
Open
take
brain.
care of that in time.
They found something. I'm just glad they found something. Brain.
Yeah, thank God, man, that you're okay, right? So moving past that, we don't want to dwell too much into that.
No, I'm good.
Which we're good. We're glad that you are well and alive and here, and we're celebrating.
Glad to be here.
We're celebrating you as a person.
That's appreciated, brother.
As
Appreciate it.
all the flowers in the world, bro.
All
God
your
bless.
accomplishments. We're excited, man. Because not for nothing, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. Right?
Oh, we talked about
So
this. Yes,
you know,
sir.
who inspired you to do martial arts? Like, who's your favorite martial artist?
So, I mean, you come from different styles. You do enough different styles. You find different people that inspire you. So, for me, it's a culmination of people, right? Because we were talking about it earlier. Like, I like Bruce Lee, but not for the reason most people like Bruce Lee.
Not
Like,
because he was famous and all that.
Why do you like Bruce Lee? Ooh, good question. Oh, thank you. Gracias. Gracias.
I think he was really a civil rights leader, right? Remember the what was it? The Chinese Connection.
Yes.
The sign that says "No dogs or Chinese."
Well, remember what he did also, how he
and then
united.
the lady walks in with the dog.
Yes.
And he's like,
yes.
And he goes, yeah, but not you. So he kicks the sign and he breaks the sign and people like rush
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
That's Tiananmen
Classic.
Square type stuff, man. You know
Classic.
what I
That's
mean? Like,
crazy.
and then the philosophy of it, you know, being able to like, it's just not this. It could take any form. You know, this martial arts stuff, you're supposed to be able to. You can't be a piece of garbage.
You
and be a
come
martial
off.
artist, man.
You come off
That's
to me.
crazy.
You come off to me like a Wu-Tang fan. Correct.
As always, absolutely.
You know,
Let me tell you something. I got a story for you.
Woo!
Let
My
me hear it,
friend.
let me hear
I
it.
knew it was gonna come up,
My
baby.
friend.
What's the song?
He from Brooklyn. Hello.
Oh yeah, he's from Brooklyn.
My
Ten
friend.
ten cuidado, ten mi hermano, Brooklyn, nigga, Bushwick.
You're still repping Queens
Yo,
over here. You know how we
Cypress,
do,
hey.
son.
My buddy,
Please get the money.
who is now Anthony Robeson, the chief of police at Central Falls. We went to high school together.
I think we trained him at the Nonviolence Institute.
We go way back. Super good friends.
We're gonna stay in touch with him.
Oh,
He-
hey,
we got
don't
some
you
stuff
worry.
coming. We got some
we got
stuff
family and we got family in common.
The
So-
book
what's
signing,
the
the
story?
book
We're at
signing.
Strawberries in downtown. Remember Strawberries? We used to sell the cassettes.
You're asking me. I still have cassettes from Strawberries.
So I'm in there and I want to buy a P-Funk cassette. And I'm like, Anthony, lend me I'm $1 short. Yo, lend me $1, man. Yo, P-Funk. He's like, nah, man. I gotta buy this. I gotta buy this cassette, man. I'm like, we have like a little mini argument. I have my little
Wu-Tang
like,
Clan
yeah.
So I'm like, dude,
Wu-Tang.
what is it? He's like, I saw them at the Dunk like this weekend. It's the Wu-Tang Clan. And I'm like, the Wu-Tang.
Wait, what year was this?
Like they were touring together.
That was like 95, 94.
When they were at the Dunk, the first.
I was outside.
that's-
the
I
one
was
and only
outside.
time they were all together.
Yes.
in Rhode Island.
in Rhode
That's
Island.
crazy. So
Hey,
this is
if you ever interview him,
I was
tell him,
outside.
Were you there? Anthony?
I was outside for that.
so you were. This is the first album he bought.
Oh, no,
36
you
Chambers?
know, we had this like argument about like, yeah, lend me $1.
Hey, can
And it was for that he bought the album. right?
can you repeat the store?
Strawberries, right?
Woo!
That's crazy. He bring it
Hey,
back.
hey, once again, people, hold on 1 second.
This is your new segment. I'm gonna just put this in one of
He's
the
gonna play
tapes.
Sanford and Son.
Yokoso Sensei. Because he just brought you back to history, so everybody gonna Google that.
Oh.
And I've been doing things that I've been highlighting these old places, like, you know, if you know Strawberries, you know the old place Barry's.
Oh my God,
You
yeah.
know
He's
bootleggers.
in
You know
the neighborhood.
bootleggers.
Luke's restaurant behind City Hall.
Luke's. Hello.
So this is
My
the whole
bad.
thing.
I'm
that,
sorry about
no,
that,
you're
man.
good. You're good.
Flashback.
So I was just getting to the point where then when you started doing jujitsu, right? How long did it take you to become? Did you achieve that? What you told the sensei? You told him the 10th
you know what?
black belt. Did
When
you
I-
achieve it?
Sorry.
Remember, you told the sensei that you
What's
wanted
the
to be the
highest?
highest. Did you achieve it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you?
30 years.
Wow.
I've been
Takes a
recognized
while.
in 2 styles, but you know what? It's one of those things that
Wow.
I appreciate it, but I
Yeah.
just put it on the wall. You know what I mean? It's a thank you.
It's an accomplishment, but you don't boast and brag about it.
I mean, it doesn't help. You know what? It doesn't help me. Help you.
You're very
So,
humble.
you know,
I like that. Because somebody of your
Stature.
and
Yes,
stature
yes,
would be
yes.
like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. You don't brag. That's a good
It's
thing.
the wrong kind of attitude, man.
He-
That attitude doesn't help anybody.
Like he told you,
Yeah,
man.
that's awesome.
And he has a different look at life.
What was the name of your sensei? What was his name again? The one that trained you?
So my first instructor was Eric Hugel.
And then after that, when you got into jiu-jitsu,
So I moved. My instructor retired, so I moved to train with his instructor,
which was
Jimmy Bryant.
Jimmy Bryant. Okay.
So I
nice.
took like 15 years off where I just taught Kempo. I didn't worry about teaching or anything like that. So I have a new instructor, Craig Seavey. So that's my line for Kempo.
So now you got Crest CB right now?
Yeah, that's my line for Kempo. In Taekwondo, I have a black belt in Taekwondo. We were talking about
Taekwondo.
Dominicans in karate,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So in DR,
By the way, he's Dominican.
Yeah. Hey.
That's dope.
just a little bit.
First time I met a
Te doy con un
Dominican.
plátano.
That's a black belt and all
Yo,
this fucking-
I'm showing up with my
crazy.
boy to the Dominican
This is
parade.
the thing.
You
Relax.
got to hire when you need security.
I thought I was the only black belt that was Dominican.
Yeah.
And then I went to New York and they're like 10,000 back in DR. Like, what are you talking about?
Damn. In DR?
In DR, there's one of the largest Kempo karate organizations,
Kempo?
but Okinawan Kempo, so
Yo,
old
that's
Kempo.
crazy.
Oh, Okinawa.
Felto Messina was the guy. He's Dominican. He went to Mayagüez, Puerto Rico,
Yes.
trained there, came back after he graduated and started teaching karate.
That's awesome.
Historical fact, Porfirio Rubirosa took Chinese defense
La
courses
Culebra Blanca.
in
Cobra Kai.
Hey. Yeah, bro. Listen.
Yo, that's just no joke.
We're talking about 56, 57.
That's what I'm talking
55.
about. I don't want to get political. The CIA was in DR.
Wow.
There was martial
Ding,
arts.
ding, ding, ding,
The CIA was in
ding.
DR. All right.
So now you say you started training. Were you training all ages?
When I was teaching,
When you were teaching, were you teaching all ages?
My youngest student was 3. My oldest student was like 70.
Who do you find that's the hardest to take instruction, like to learn? Who's the easiest to train, you think, out of those groups, age groups? Like, kids, adults, older, elders.
So, you know what's so weird?
What do you think? Everyone's just different?
No. You ever see a young kid with like old people eyes?
Yeah.
I've taught some kids and I'm like,
And they're fast learners, right?
I'm like, who is this?
he's going to be a problem.
What's inside
right?
of
Yeah. Well, what's the old saying? It's not the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog.
Wow.
Oh man. That's an old jiu-jitsu quote from the old school guys in New York. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. Like, I've seen some little kids that you're just like, oh, get them off the adult. You know what I mean?
So who's the most difficult? You would say kids?
Adults are really
Adults?
hard on themselves.
Because they're not consistent sometimes too, right?
Well,
Sometimes they waste your time.
They have life and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But you know, the
More
thing is-
fears as well.
Yeah, built in, like, cause
Built-in fears.
you know, I've seen people like have issues with being grabbed a particular way because it's happened for real.
Oh,
You
right.
know what I'm
Like they
saying?
get flashbacks.
I've had students that are like, I have one of my black belts, multiple of my black belts are like rape counseling. Like, they work with women that have been in situations. So this is the thing, which is why I'm very particular when we were talking about the way that I teach.
Right.
If I tell you that something works and I know it doesn't work,
Trust. Right? Trust.
I'm lying to you.
A big thing is trust.
You gotta
I'm telling
trust
you
your
that this is
sense.
going to work. You walk into a brick wall and you're going to come back with a black eye. You're going to be like, what happened? You told me this
Yeah.
was going to work. So what I teach has to have some level of effectiveness.
And some value, right?
Yeah. So this is the thing that you really got to work on. You really got to. How real are you, man?
Now, so let me ask you a question, and this is why we actually had you on the guest as a guest on our show as well. You have your own YouTube channel, am I correct?
I do.
And what's the name of this channel? And you give tutorials.
Please
Yes.
shout that out.
And
Please.
let them know what the channel's about and what do you do on the channel.
So the
the
channel's
name of the
called.
channel?
It's on YouTube. It's called Tombokai Tutorials. Actually,
Right.
Tombokai Official.
Okay.
So Tombokai is. So when I started.
That's how they could find it on YouTube?
Yeah, Tombokai.
You said
Official.
Tumble Kai.
Tombo. So Tombokai.
Spell it out for them.
2 words. Ju Jit. Tombokai Official.
Now, is this a different type
On
of
YouTube.
martial arts?
So when I started teaching my instructor style on my own, because he told me, you know what, go do your own thing.
Do your thing.
Do your thing. I trust you. So I put together my own organization. I call it Tombokai. This is around the time where everybody was putting like their logos were like gorillas and like the shark and like, my logo was a dragonfly, right?
A dragon.
And why is that? What's the significance?
Because
of that?
my boy smooth. My boy did do karate, but he moved like bachata, nigga.
Smooth,
This nigga
right?
is. Listen, you ever heard of Anthony Santo? Imagine Anthony Santo doing fucking karate, nigga. You ain't never. His hair won't move. Imagine Anthony Santo doing karate, bro. It's the smoothest. And I don't mean to be like, oh my God, this nigga is great. But yo,
Is that what it means?
I'm nothing without my teachers, man. That's all I gotta say.
So now the name of the channel was, again, I'm so sorry.
So it's Tombokai Official.
Tombokai Official. And what do you do on this channel?
So I'm basically giving my students or people that are interested in learning some level of self-defense, kind of a beginning. You know, basics. Start with footwork. Don't stand in front of someone. Basic principles.
I watched a few myself. They were very informative and easy to understand.
So some of the criticism I get is that
You're good at explaining.
They're a little too long, but this is for somebody that really
good.
you want to learn, right? So it's like, okay, I kind of get it.
You don't want to rush the process. Right?
Back to it. Absolutely. You can't rush the process. You know, 35 years is just a drop in the bucket when you're in a room with a guy that's literally been doing it 70 years.
I know a guy that has had 16 facial operations with the bones in his face. He owns a daycare in Providence on Broad Street. I think he's Colombian or Ecuadorian or something. The dude that owns the daycare, he owns a daycare. This dude,
Jose Luis.
Oh man, this guy got more broken bones in his face than a freaking
What, he does
soccer
martial arts too?
Oh man, this dude's OG fighting legendary shit in Vegas, bro. Like, listen.
Yeah. Have you traveled to compete?
I respect fighters, bro.
I've
fighters.
done like full contact taekwondo and stuff like that, but my knee gave out, so I didn't pursue it because again, there's no longevity in it for me.
So you didn't you never really traveled around like different countries
I've
to
traveled,
compete?
but I've traveled to do seminars.
Seminars.
So,
Okay, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
That's
East
what
Coast, West Coast, down the Midwest.
So you've done a few. Where have you been, if you don't mind me asking?
St. Louis, Atlanta, Denver.
Wow.
Sacramento.
So you've made a
And
name for yourself.
it's only the beginning. My boy looked
Detroit.
28. This nigga dance
you look
bachata.
young, man, for real.
He dance bachata. He chop kick the shit out of you.
So now, when you do these seminars, like you meet people from all over the world,
All over
right?
the
They
place.
come through. What was your favorite? Like, what's your favorite type of martial art? Like, what's your favorite one?
The one that works.
The one that would the one that works.
The one that works. What
That's
situation
awesome.
are you in, right? So,
What situation are you in?
So I'm in a seated position, and I have two people in front of me,
Yes.
right? I don't want to get up. So who's gonna get? You can't come over.
No matter what, you gonna fuck somebody up. I guarantee.
Right?
I'm putting money on you.
So you can't reach me because you have to lean over. So the minute
Yeah.
you lean over, I got you, and I block you.
Broken arm.
You come to me first. I got you first.
Broken
you fall
nose.
forward. You fall over. So I'm gonna pancake you one way or the other. Once I'm done, everybody's over.
You,
See what I mean?
Gotcha.
you niggas.
Sorry.
Because
No, I don't
I'm sitting here now, but
no.
it's not me.
Don't
but
try this
You
out.
niggas are fucked up.
No, I don't. Hey, I don't live paranoid. I don't live
Yeah.
paranoid like that. But the situation.
You're always thinking.
I told you I bounced.
Don't look at my
And those
boy.
Yeah.
situations, man.
When you were a bouncer, did you ever have to put the beats on
Let me
someone?
tell you, I bounced for 15 years. I never hurt anybody.
Wow, that's awesome.
But
But you could.
because so when you can demonstrate that you can, people typically just chill out.
So what's your line? Do you have a line? Like, yo, I don't want no
can't
problems.
hear you. I can't hear you. Let's go outside. I can't hear you. The music's too loud. Come on, let's go
That
outside.
was your
Let's go
line in the
outside.
club?
Yeah. Oh, we're outside? Oh, dude, you can't come back in. Boom, block out, done.
Wow.
I
you're
learned that one from a good
good.
bouncer.
That's a good
And he's
one.
standing
I can't
outside.
hear you. Like, yeah.
Mind you, you could karate chop this dude's whole ankle into 4 pieces. I would get, because remember what he said? Stand up jujitsu.
Sitting down.
No.
He said the ground
But he
one, though.
said
There's a ground
he
one.
took stand up jujitsu.
that's what I do.
You
The
know what that
stand-up one.
means?
That's
He'll kick you in your ankle, hip, and your head, and you won't even know. You'll be like, "Who hit
Not
me?"
quick.
You'll be like, "Pop, pop, pop." That's what stand up jujitsu, correct?
Yeah. Well, we break our way in. So wrist to elbow to
Yes.
shoulder. Yeah, absolutely.
And the same way it works from the bottom up, correct?
High-low concept. Absolutely. We talk about that in the
My boy is
we talk about the
Yo,
the
tú
tutorial.
quieres pelear, tú quieres.
like it.
No. I'm
your
gonna step
shit.
outside. Let my boy take care of this. Papín, papín. Mira,
So it's
muchacho.
that
Una
fast.
tambora,
You got
una
time for one
tambora.
more story?
Of course, we ain't
all
going
day, my
nowhere.
brother.
I still got a few more questions.
Oh, okay,
so we,
beautiful. Okay, I thought
we midway right now.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What's the story?
I'm working one night,
Yeah.
and the bouncer comes over, and he's nervous. And he's like, yo, man, this guy keeps taking his shirt off.
Oh, he didn't know how to handle the situation.
What are we gonna do?
Gotcha.
And this is the guy that was like, he had the long beard and like
the tattoos.
Didn't
Thought
know
he
what
was
to do.
gangster.
But
Gotcha.
I saw him come in. I saw him come in.
some trouble.
And I knew who he came in with. He came in with a regular. So I go over. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? He was taking his shirt off. He had a white beater on. You can't have a white beater on. You have to have a shirt on.
Right.
But brother, you got to put your shirt on. Hey, man, I can't have you punk me like this.
Oh, he wanted that 1-2 chop.
This is mindful.
Instantly, what do you know? What's the first question I asked him?
What was what the first?
Yo, man, I can't have you punk me like this.
So you told him, "Can you
I'm
step?"
not trying to punk you.
When'd you get out?
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even
You know
think
what he
of
said?
that.
Today.
Oh, damn.
Do you want to go back?
Do you?
Next question. How long were you in for?
3 years.
16.
God damn.
Oh
So
shit!
why do you think he thinks that I'm punking him? Because he thinks everybody's watching him, because that's what happens in prison. So what happens? I call the cops. Now we have a problem. Now this dude's back in jail. Not me. I understand. I look at the waitress. I said,
Now he got somebody new to hate.
yeah. I look at the waitress. I'm like, get this guy a drink. My man, put your shirt back on.
So you diffused the situation, got him a drink, everything
Without
was cool.
even hurting
Without
nobody.
even getting an altercation
but
going.
My point,
Damn.
is, Sensei Carlos, my point is, you could have fucked that nigga up.
But it was
Bad,
a temporary solution. 15 minutes later, the shirt's off again.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
So now you're getting aggravated a little bit, right?
No, man. No.
You're good.
No.
So you're very
You
calm.
just did 16 years in prison. You're out at the club. You're drunk.
really testing
You're
me
all
right
right. No. I understand. Are you
okay.
kidding me?
So you at this point
It takes more than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
at this point you
I walk
understood where he
over.
was coming from.
Oh my God,
Okay.
absolutely. So I go over. I'm like, yo, man,
Again,
what's going on, man?
I told
Gotta
you.
put that shirt back on. Oh man,
Please.
Yo, man, I'm just hot, man. I'm like, yeah, I understand. You gotta put the shirt back on. Puts the shirt back on. This sounds like a joke. 10 minutes later,
Oh
shirt's
my
off
god!
again.
Yo, this dude really wanted a cocotazo.
So
bro.
now I understand.
My bro could
So now I watched.
I
I guess I watched too many prison movies. I guess. So I walk up to him. I'm like, yo, man, come outside with me, man. I'm gonna go smoke. Oh, nah, man, I don't smoke. I'm like, you're not gonna get my back like that? Oh, yo, you're right. Walks outside with me. Now you're
Yo,
drunk.
he's good.
You're drunk. You don't got that shirt on. You outside is a little chilly. Yo, my man.
bro,
my man. I'll see you. I'm like, you have a good night, my friend. You have a good night.
Listen, man, mental.
You have a good night, man. You have a good night.
Mission accomplished.
Oh,
mental. Aquí, mira, en la mente, mi hermano.
Yo, so I talked to his buddy that brought him in, who's the reg. I'm like, you brought that dude in here a day. He was like, yo, where else am I supposed to bring him? I'm like, fine. I took care of it. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty sure you've had those are one of the million stories.
Because
right?
any other person that wasn't mindful and in touch with Zen, I would say that would have violently reacted. Correct?
Absolutely. I've seen people hurt for no reason. Actually, one of the worst things I saw was like somebody scratched cornea.
Ooh.
I mean, it's yellow pus coming out of your eye. It's terrible.
God.
You know, but
I've seen that in real life. I've seen that.
So that was gonna be my next question. How do you avoid conflict? But you actually answered it very well. You use either use a reverse psychology, I want to say, or you
empathy.
keep
A
it
little
empathy,
understanding, man,
and
yeah.
you don't come up like, yo, my man.
where do you
all
find
gangster and
so
shit.
where do you find value? How do you find value?
You treat
for
people how
yourself,
you would
right?
want to be treated.
Listen, man.
right?
Listen, bro. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to interject again.
No, you're good.
You're awesome, bro.
Nah, yeah, God
I'm
bless
sorry,
you, man, for
and
real.
I ain't trying to soup you up. I ain't like we're gonna end this show.
Shout outs to Sensei Carlos, man. Sensei Carlos,
Yo, bro, you are ill, man. God bless
appreciate
you,
it,
bro.
man.
And you are the. I work for the Nonviolence Institute. You say things that I'm like.
It makes
did
perfect
you hang
sense,
out,
though.
Did you hang out with Martin Luther King?
Yo, for real.
He's a
Because
little older.
you are. And my bro, a Dominican. Can I get a bang for the Dominican?
So
Go!
speaking of that,
He's mine.
I read Frederick Douglass. I read W.E.B. Du Bois.
Sorry about
I read James Baldwin. Like, you gotta read. You know what?
So you read a lot of books?
Absolutely. On Buddhism, on like politics. On
What's a good book you would recommend for those out there that want to get into reading about Buddhism? What's a good book?
there are a lot of books called Intro to Buddhism. So there's three basic, like I said earlier, there's three basic types of Buddhism. There's the Indian Buddhism with like the different gods.
Yeah.
There's like the Chinese Buddhism that's surrounding the Buddha and his journey.
Yes.
There's a great documentary on PBS with
What's it called?
the Buddha.
I just worked with PBS, by the way.
Oh, awesome!
Oh, shout out to
they're
you,
good.
Flip.
I just worked with
You're gonna
PBS.
drop that on me without telling me like that?
Me and the CEO.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to you, bro. I didn't know about
Thank
this.
you. Yeah,
When did you
bro.
start this?
That was a little while ago, and he actually sent me a gift, bro.
Damn, that's what's up,
so
bro.
I just that you
Proud
brought
of
up
you,
PBS.
brother.
I want to shout.
Yeah,
them
no,
out.
So
absolutely.
then, what was the name you said that?
It's called The Buddha.
The Buddha. Okay.
Yeah, on PBS documentary. It's amazing.
So
It's actually what got me really interested in Buddhism.
Sensei Carlos.
And then Zen. That's the third one, the Japanese version.
Is the Zen. I actually have a song called Zen that I made.
You did?
I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
It's
That's what's up.
it's with a Planet Rock sample.
Oh, that's fire. Now, Sensei Carlos, man, is there anybody out there that you?
I got
wanna,
too many questions.
Any shout outs you want to give to maybe like anybody you know, your students?
Oh, absolutely. To every student.
Every
You know,
student
when
that's training with you.
And not anything, but, I've had the pleasure of working with some unbelievably talented young people, old people, everybody. So definitely a shout out to everybody. My instructors, all of them, too many to mention, but all love for all of them.
And
So-
by the way, this hoodie right here is your clothing, you said,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. One of my
what was the
students put it together.
significance of that?
So this is an Oni mask.
Okay.
So Oni masks are like a demon mask.
Right.
It's used to ward away evil spirits. So, and on the back it has our
That's
Tombokai
awesome.
logo. Yeah.
And where can we
We're
purchase?
gonna promote
Hit me
that.
up. Hit me up.
So how can they? What is your social media? You have any
So
social media?
I'm not on social media like that. But
Got
you
Wait,
can
hold on. Wait a minute.
The YouTube.
All right,
YouTube
we're
is
gonna
perfect.
talk very soon because you need to be on
Oh,
social media.
YouTube and Facebook. So like,
Bro, you
What's
need
your-
to
what's
be
your Facebook?
all over social media.
Tombokai.
Tombokai, that's how they
Yep,
can follow you.
Tombokai.
And then the YouTube as well.
Tombokai official.
Tombokai official.
So
And how many episodes do you have? Right now?
35. Wow.
35 on
That's dope.
Sensei Carlos.
That's
I love saying Sensei Carlos.
I like Sensei Carlos.
we had a
too.
conversation
He didn't
about
really
in the
want us
beginning.
to address him as Sensei Carlos, but
Can
we
you-
had to.
All right, so I have an
It's
uncle
just
named
the right
I
thing
have
to
a-
do.
I have an uncle named Carlos,
And he'll just be Uncle Carlos.
and I have a brother named Carl Lewis, which was Carlos and Lewis mixing. You know how Dominicans
Oh,
be
yeah.
mixing the beans and the rice. And you might get
That
three
make clown,
beans.
bro.
You might get 3 beans and 1 rice, nigga. But you're gonna be healthy. You juke ass. My bro is the Juka Karate King. right
He's
now.
the guy, bro. Like, so do you do private security? Like, if I wanted to hire you as my security guard, would you do private security?
I'm retired,
You're done.
but I've done private security.
But what about if I needed, like, let's say we're doing a gig or something, like you would do a private?
I still know people. In
I
the
would,
community, you know?
I would think that you would fit
I would feel
perfectly.
so
You know
safe
what?
with this guy around.
Yeah, but
I got a smirk when you said that because David Carradine from Kung Fu.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was his bodyguard for an event.
really.
Wow.
It changed. Like,
But
it was
Derek Kennedy is how tall is he?
shorter than I am, so like maybe like 5'10", 5'11".
And you took care of him.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was like the best weekend of my whole life.
How did you get that gig? Somebody put you on?
Yeah,
Did-
somebody put me on for
And
security.
he had the popcorn
That's
ears.
Huh?
He had
No. David Carradine. So he's Bill from Kill Bill.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
my God,
Bill.
you don't even know. That,
Oh
that
my
was, that
God,
was amazing.
legend,
Oh my God.
actor, legend.
Who else have you done security with? Anybody else famous?
Miss Canada, 2000.
Damn, that's fire.
Alejandro Nuno,
Nice.
the actor. You know he's like an actor in Mexico and Latin America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who
So
else?
guys like that, just people like that. Oh, one of the cabinet members from DR. That when he came, he doesn't get Secret Service. So me and Master Arias, one of my instructors,
that's
we did,
crazy.
we
And
did-
private
yeah.
security.
And then I've done like private parties and stuff like that.
So what do you like? What's next for you? What besides the YouTube channel, besides the book? What else do you have in the plans for yourself as a brand? Because you're a brand, more or less.
Bro, you're an amazing brand.
Yeah.
Well, Raisin Bran?
No raisin brand. No raisin
Fixing for
brand.
kids.
No raisin brand. No.
Yo,
But
yo,
you're an
watch your
amazing-
words, bro.
No.
no.
I said it kind of fast. No, but
what's next for your brand? What
For
else
me,
you working
for me,
on?
it's just listen. I'm not interested in money.
It's not about the money for you.
Nah, and I know that people say when it's not about the money, it's about the money. It really isn't about.
I mean, you need it to survive, obviously,
Yeah,
but you're not crazy about
So
it.
what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like there has to be some level. There has to be some level of balance where you can't have Skid Rows.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have Skid Rows and you can't have people in like going to the bathroom in golden toilets.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There has to be some sort of balance in the middle.
Astrophy.
So I think what you're doing in terms of getting young people to read
Yes.
is super key.
That's amazing, right?
The easy out is to watch it on television. The hard road is to read it, learn it. It's in your head. You develop so many skills by reading. I just read something that the average billionaire or millionaire reads 30 minutes every day.
How many books do you read in a week?
When I'm on my reading schedule, I can bang out 3 books at once.
Damn! Shout out to you. I've been trying to read, man.
Oh, no.
I'm asking. I have so many books and I haven't been reading them.
Chapter in the morning.
Just try
3 books.
Yeah.
1 chapter in the morning of one chapter a night, and the weekend you have your own book.
And I got some good books. I got a lot of books on law of attraction.
Yes.
I actually got like biography books. I got books like Dapper Dan's biography. Like I like people like that. I like people that do changes in the world.
And
entrepreneurs.
not to get into it, but you brought it up a couple times, and not to get too deep into it. I don't want to, bro. I heard you bring up religion a couple times, and I heard you bring up
He's a Buddhist, right?
I heard you bring up a couple different religions, and the fact that you're a believer in something. And I don't get into the politics of believing because I've been to Buddhist temples, I've been to Islam temples, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness. I've been to all the temples.
And that's different for a Dominican to be
Buddhist.
Bro.
Oh no, are you kidding me?
And listen, bro. And I've been to a Cambodian Buddhist temple.
Yeah.
And I've donated, and my name is in it. You know, like, because, you know, when you donate.
Must be very peaceful in there, right?
You know, they literally announce your name when you donate and when you bring and you present to that with the round table.
Well, you can't even kill a cockroach. On ground.
And
nothing's allowed to be killed. Like that mentality is just.
And Sensei Carlos, what I want to tell you is that I don't know, because you act like a normal human being. No, I want to say that. I want to say you literally, but you bring an aura of peace.
He's got me very calm, even though I'm excited.
You bring an aura of peace.
I couldn't even turn up today.
Within you, I've seen you train. I've bumped into you.
Where you seen him train at?
I've bumped into him multiple occasions at Roger Williams Park by the casino.
Awesome. Where do you train now?
I'm at my coach's dojo.
And I just want to say, you know, before we wrap up, I want to throw this out before we even get close to it. But you bring an aura of peace, bro.
That's
and I respect you a lot. And you are a walking testimony. I want to tell you that.
I appreciate it.
You are a walking testimony.
Yeah,
of
we
life,
definitely appreciate you coming.
Of love, of peace. I want to stay in touch with you.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm so glad that this happened because
it was meant to be.
Serendipity.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got another story.
I love serendipity.
What's the story?
By the way,
I had one of my students and I go to a different country before I got sick for New Year's.
What country? What country?
In this particular case, it's Ireland.
What countries have you been to before you get to the story?
Okay.
Ireland, Denmark, DR, then
obviously,
a couple of places in
you like Europe?
Canada.
Ireland,
Oh, that's amazing.
Ireland.
I'm dying to go to Germany.
Germany's awesome.
I want to go to Amsterdam.
We were trying to go to Germany. We were trying to go to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. That's
let's stay in touch. Let's stay in touch because we could do some training over there. I do training. Training packages.
I'm about to get in the gym with him.
They'll pay for everything.
I'm trying to get some.
We'll talk.
One of my students runs that school on Smith Street, and I always pop in.
So what was the story? You said you were getting into that story. What happened?
Oh man,
Ireland.
Serendipity. So every time we were looking for food or something, like this little Irish guy would pop up. Boop. Like, oh yeah,
like a leprechaun.
So no, it's crazy. It's crazy because we're standing there truly. And we're talking about like, man, where are we gonna go eat? And this guy walks up to us like, you know, we're both like 6 foot. My students.
You here, my friend?
Over here.
He's like, hey, what are these boys doing? And I'm like, oh, we're trying to find a place to eat. He goes, oh, come on. You got what? You like Indian food?
That's great. Law of attraction.
So we're walking through, we're walking with this guy. And he's like, so where you boys from? I'm like, oh, we're from Boston. People don't know Rhode Island. He goes, what part of Boston? We're like, oh, well, we're not from Boston. We're actually from Rhode Island. What part of Rhode Island? Oh, Cranston. I was in Cranston 2 weeks ago.
Oh, snap.
You see what I mean? So as far as meeting, forget about it.
That's crazy.
It's a small world, right?
In Ireland.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. Hold on. We just want to get in real quick. Album of the week this week is The Baby. Album of the week.
Yo,
Album
bro.
of the week
My
on
bro.
Dos Lokos podcast.
Can I ask Sensei Carlos, when you do some mindfulness or when you do your thing, what do you listen to?
That's a good question.
What kind of music do you like?
Triumph, Wu-Tang?
Everything. There's really nothing that I don't listen to. I listen to like country music, like the right kind of country. I can listen to country music, a lot of jazz. So like,
you said you meditate too,
Coltrane.
right?
There's a lot of like the harmonic vibration.
You meditate to that, right?
Yeah, like the singing bowls and stuff like that. Those are always cool.
You like that?
I do mindfulness. So
the chants are great.
yeah, with the bowl and everything. I do mindfulness.
Like
What do you do
rhythmic
that in the
breathing.
morning?
Yeah, so I do mindfulness as far as my program as well with the kids. So I do
It's
mindfulness.
so interesting
yes.
that young people adapt to that.
We're gonna stay in touch, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I want to stay in touch with you heavy.
Young
duty.
people adapt to that a lot easier than adults because they see it quicker. You know, it's one of those things where you're just like, oh yeah. Where an adult process it too much. They're like, well, what is that? Well, because, you know, and then they let life pull them right back. You know what I mean? Like a kid's life is not as stressful. You got homework and stuff like that. And even going into like, I'm sure you deal with a lot of bullying.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time. You know?
I work with high school.
How do you feel about that? Like the bullying?
I have a real simple approach. If I don't respect you, I don't give two shits what your opinion of me is.
Yeah.
And I don't sugarcoat anything to kids. I'll say it just like that. If I don't know you
right away,
what the fuck do I give a shit about your opinion of me?
That would be that was gonna be what's your advice to those out there?
That is it. If I don't know you, what could I possibly, somebody on Twitter doesn't like?
It doesn't matter, right?
So, you know, I have my points of view on certain things. It's a few of it, sometimes it pops up on my YouTube channel and people want to come at me.
What, like negative stuff?
No, yeah, but just in, you know.
I want to know who want to be negative towards
No,
you.
but
That's so weird.
So what's your point?
Right.
Oh, no, I'm just, you know,
Like
I don't like your hair, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but what's your point? Because if your point isn't going to help someone, then all you're doing is taking away from somebody that's trying to help somebody.
exactly.
Right.
So, shush.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
need it.
honestly, like, we give these people a lot of value, and we do it. They don't have value. You know what I mean? When somebody's energy is just to just be negative, and I just let it go.
And like I like what you said earlier, that you surround yourself with positive people, and that's why his vibe is like that. And that's another message for those out there, right? Like, surround yourself with positive people and positive vibes, and you'll be in the same boat.
Going back to the book, you have to shed, and shedding is hard and it's painful. Like, you have people that are like in your life that you love, but you know that you're just like
Toxic.
Now, how many people are you training right now? How many students do you have at the moment?
maybe like 10.
10 students,
Yeah,
and then
I don't want to go past that because I want
it
these
too much?
guys. No.
you want to give your undivided attention.
I want them to like go on and teach it because I can't teach forever. You know what I mean? I gotta. One of the mistakes that I see people make is that they try to make it all about them. Like, this is me, Carlos de la Cruz Karate Academy, blah blah blah. Don't be afraid to hand over power. You know what I mean?
That's
Not power,
awesome.
but like authority. You know, because
You're trying to pass the torch.
yeah, but like not just one torch. You know, you can light multiple torches. That's right.
I have a serious question.
What's the question, Flip? Yo, Flip, we got a Dos Locos exclusive. Ha!
How do you feel about Cobra Kai?
Oh, I think it's bringing back the old school. You know, speaking of old school, there's a convention in Atlantic City every couple of years, and at the first time I went there, I met Timok.
You did?
You know who Timok is?
No.
Yeah, isn't he one of the characters?
I gotta be honest.
He's Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, that's
Leroy.
I was gonna ask you about Bruce Leroy because
He
Bruce Leroy changed my life.
He looks the same.
Bruce Leroy changed my life.
Unbelievable.
And what,
So,
you just
were
met
you
him
in
briefly? It was cool.
Oh yeah. I had to take a picture.
Were
Oh my God.
you in Brooklyn when Bruce Leroy came out?
No. I heard dudes were walking around with that.
What was the name of the movie?
The Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon. Did you have the shoes?
No, I couldn't do it.
Come on, bro.
Those shoes are fucking uncomfortable. I had a pair of them shoes.
I had that. Me and my brother. Yo, big shout out to my brother Carlos, my brother Sparks, my brother Moy, Carlos Sparks Moy.
Shout out to Sparks. Just posted them last night at 2 in the morning.
We all had them goddamn shoes.
Yeah, you had the kung fu shoes?
No, man.
Brooklyn, nigga. Like, what the hell?
And they would walk around with the button-down thingy with the white collar.
Brooklyn,
yeah. It was like they would wear it.
Bro,
do you know kung fu as well?
I did a little bit of kung fu.
There was 3 of us. Imagine 3 little Dominicans walking down the street with the whole suit.
Yeah, y'all must have looked mad.
Oh, no, I got pictures. I'm going to text you. I'm going to text you.
Yo, put it on the podcast. Put it on this.
Yeah, can we use that for the ending of the show?
I'm going to text you.
I'm going to sign it out with that.
Imagine 3 little Dominicans from Brooklyn. Coño.
Oye, loco, ¿por qué lo que?
So, before we wrap up, because we're getting close. What kind of, can you tell us what kind of martial arts, like all the different ones that you know? That way we can, because we mentioned a few, but what were some of the others?
So I started in Kempo.
I know we left a few.
Oh, no, that's all good. I started in Kempo.
Right.
I moved on to Jiu-Jitsu. Taekwondo.
Wow.
A little bit of capoeira, but that was very, very little.
Capoeira's it's like dancing. I feel like break dancing.
It's very the whole point is it's deceptive, right?
Yeah.
So then I said karate.
Like a snake.
You didn't say karate. I did Shotokan when I was a kid.
With who?
Sensei Terry in the Bronx.
Oh no, I didn't. I knew
she was a girl.
Oh,
and
really?
she was nasty with it.
Let me tell you this.
Girls are violent. Girls are violent.
The karate I enjoyed a lot because of like who I was working.
Everybody agrees girls are violent.
Oh, yeah.
She was nasty.
They have their moments.
People were scared of her. She could fight. Like a girl sensei?
Yeah,
kicking ass.
You know what's funny?
Was chubby.
My first instructor's like number 2 was a young lady, and she was amazing.
Wow.
Kicking dudes in the walls. A lot of respect for women. See, that taught you that martial arts in that particular case taught me respect for women right out the gate.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't like girls couldn't do it. It was like, no, my sensei is nasty. Yeah. Like, no, that's you must be talking about somebody else.
Yokoso, Sensei, Haza, Carlos.
You're gonna kill me on the next one. So I do 2 different styles of jiu-jitsu. Stand up
and sitting down.
And two stand up styles.
Okay.
And then I do stick and knife.
What's stick and knife? Is that like the guy? Is that the guy that you see the black guy? So yo, he's fucking hilarious.
I'm not fucking with these niggas.
Stick and knife is Filipino, like knife fighting. So the first seminar I ever did was in '97 with Danny Nasanto. It was one seminar. Let me tell you something. Danny Nasanto was one of Bruce Lee's guys. Remember Game of Death?
Yes.
He was the guy with the red sticks, with the X on his forehead?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy?
Yeah. I trained with him twice.
Bro, y'all gotta watch. Y'all gotta watch.
Last question too. What's your favorite martial arts movie?
It depends what you consider a martial arts.
All
right.
Like,
listen, most people that I talk to.
Did you like Enter the Dragon?
Oh yeah, I love the Bruce Lee movies. I just don't have like I love.
I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. I'm not gonna
you can tell. We'll continue.
Yeah.
We'll continue.
So Enter the Dragon. What other?
You know, it depends what you consider martial arts movie because the John Wick movies are ridiculous.
John Wick, right?
They're pretty good. You know, the old school. I mean, the old school movies are ridiculous too.
The VHS,
the 5 deadly venoms and stuff like that. Come on, my favorite for a long time.
John Wick is a beast, though.
He really does his own training like that. He's going through that.
So he knows martial arts too, right?
He's learning. He's getting real good, real fast.
The guy from Speed.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. So he actually does those moves.
You should see him on YouTube. Oh yeah.
So wait, what was the movie? You were gonna say a movie for a long time. Your movie was
the five elements.
The 5 elements. I'm gonna look that up. I haven't seen
the
that.
5 elements.
It's good.
Is that when he ripped the heart out?
I don't remember. Well, the guys were going like on this journey to go fight the guy, and like they were tree ninjas, so they were dressed in brown. They were like green ninjas in the trees. You know, like the ones underground were in brown. It was dope. The fire ninjas were in red. It was ridiculous.
That's dope.
Are you kidding me?
So what's the other?
Drunken Tai Chi. That was another.
You know Drunken Tai Chi?
No, not me. Like the Drunken Tai, the movie. Oh my god, that was great.
Now, any other martial arts that we left out? Capoeira.
Man, I've trained with guys that do judo. I've trained. One of my black belts was like a professional boxer, so I did boxing with him and stuff.
You did boxing too. What's your favorite out of all of them?
Like I told you before, the one that works, man. So there's so many. You find yourself in different situations. The one that works, that's the best one.
And how many years you got training?
35.
Shout
1988.
outs to
35
you,
years,
man.
bro. Wow.
35. I said it when I was 10. I'm 45.
Yo, man, it's a blessing once again. Any shout outs that you want to give to anybody?
Jonah, this guy over here.
Jonah,
the
shout out to
Jonah.
Jonah, man.
Jonah look like he can fuck some shit up.
Oh, hey, let me tell
He's
you.
one of
he's
your
a trainer.
students,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Listen, I ain't
How long has he been
He's my
training with you?
bodyguard. He's
fucking with him.
how long you been, man? 2 years.
That's awesome.
He
That's
just got
awesome.
his second belt.
Black belt?
Everything's earned, my friend.
Oh.
No, he's
Everything is
he's got-
earned. You heard
He's got
me?
quite a while before. Hey, a lot of more rides before you get that black belt, buddy.
How long does it take for someone to accomplish getting a black belt? That would probably be like one of my final questions. How long does it take?
I mean, if you're coming from like I trained before, so for me when I was already third degree black belt in Kempo when I was like, oh, this jiu-jitsu stuff, I want to take it more serious. I want to train. I learned from white belt to black belt in 6 months.
But that's
150
insane.
But that's dedication.
150, 300 techniques, and it was just like
You must have been studying like every day, all day, right?
But it was just easy. Like I wanted to learn it more than
You have a
anything.
passion for this thing.
Absolutely.
It's not a hobby thing.
But so if you come from like a hard style, it takes you a little longer, maybe 3 years, you know. But if you come from no training, expect like 5 years. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome.
You know,
Now-
and then you never stop. You just keep learning.
And it never stops. There's always some room to learn.
It's a lifestyle.
It's
Correct.
it's a religion for me.
It's
For
a
you.
religion.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Any words that you want to give to anybody out there that's like maybe thinking about joining martial arts and stuff like that? Any
Do
words to them? Do it, right?
Do it. Excuses. Everybody has an excuse.
Everybody has
Hey,
an excuse.
if the excuse
Start
is good,
now, right?
if the excuse is good enough for you, I guess it's gonna have to be good enough for me.
This ain't the last time you
Stop
ain't,
making excuses and get to the gym, right?
Hey, I'll be there.
this ain't the last time you guys gonna hear about Sensei Carlos. Believe that on
Now
this podcast.
they can also hit you up for training. Let me see, you don't want to do more than 10, you said, but they can hit you up for training if they're
I got
serious
people.
about it.
Yeah, I got people.
Got you.
Yeah, official.
And where do you train at?
One of my black belts is opening up a place in Lincoln. You know,
Nah,
3
Lincoln,
times
Rhode
a week.
Island.
Yeah, she's excellent. Actually,
She. No, I ain't fighting her.
no, you're not. No,
make
you're
sure
not.
you
That's a tough
follow
lady.
her.
No, I ain't messing with her.
Make sure you follow Sensei
Yeah.
Carlos. Once again, where can they follow you at?
I'm gonna stay in my car when she pulls up.
What can they follow you at once again? Before we sign
Tombokai
off?
official on YouTube, and just hit me up on Facebook.
Any
Tombokai.
last words you want to give to anybody out there?
No,
Any last
much
words?
love as always.
Much
Tombokai.
love.
Hey man, we appreciate you.
This
coming
ain't the
on
last
show,
time.
man.
This ain't
It
the
was-
last time.
It
We'll
was
do
an
it again.
honor to be in your presence
It's
once
an honor
again.
to be
You know
with
what's
you
funny
guys.
that I know Sensei Carlos for years, bro. I met him at my store. I used to work at Metro PCS.
Yeah,
I met him there, and then I took his number. I never got to do this, but I'm definitely gonna get to that training with you, man.
Let's do it, man. When
I'm
you're
just because now I'm doing the boxing, so I'm trying to do that first, and then
Take your time, man.
I'm gonna work my
I'll
way
be
there.
there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My boy want to call he calls himself Mac
Yeah.
Mayweather. Mac Mayweather.
I'm trying to get there, man. Now Tyson's my idol. I like Tyson.
Who's your favorite fighter?
Who's your favorite?
Oh, that's a good question.
Who's your favorite fighter? Like anything,
favorite?
MMA, boxing.
I'm a
and-
Joe Frazier fan.
Joe
Really?
Frazier? So you like boxers?
Way more.
You
than
like
big
Muhammad
fan of
so you
boxing?
like
way more than Muhammad
so
Ali.
let me tell you
That's
something
crazy.
about Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier is a mathematical boxer. He calculates. He's probably one of the most, because he still has all his wits. He's probably one of the most calculated mathematical, because he's
Joe Frazier?
he's Islam too.
Yeah, Muslim, right?
Yeah. So he's probably one of the most calculated. I love that, bro. Bro, next time, because today I was gonna do it, but I didn't want to look
Do what?
stupid in
You
front
gonna
of
show
you.
some moves?
I was gonna show up with belts and like all the belts
Damn,
that my
son.
friends have given me. Cause I
Why
have
you didn't bring it?
I got a grappling belt. I got a taekwondo belt.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, my friends that I didn't win them.
Yo, agarrame esto. Agarrame esto. I'll be right back.
Nigga, I would throw myself on the floor. Like, yeah,
He came with me to
Sensei
train.
Carlos,
He came-
hiya, Yokozuna.
Funny flip
I'm gonna throw
story.
myself on the floor. You're gonna swing and miss, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the floor, and
Flip's
you
my-
win.
This is my guy. He works a lot. You know what I mean? But he came. I invited him to
I ain't a fighter.
He came with me to do boxing.
no fighter.
I was like, yo, come on. You should join, blah, blah. He was down. He came. He showed up. Yo, I never seen him come back again.
Yo.
Yo, to this day, my coach been like, yo, where's your boy at? I'm like, yo, he's a busy guy,
Listen,
man.
I
He
got
don't got
I got
time.
guys that have all types
Dude,
of
I know,
belts.
he's laughing because I get it all the time. Look at him. They're like, I'm like, oh, we're going to have X, Y, and Z. They're like,
Crickets?
Hey, what do? We train, man. We just train. Whoever shows up.
Yeah.
I gotta try it because
It's not
Sensei
for
Carlos.
everybody. It's not for everybody.
Sensei
And you have
Carlos.
to be dedicated.
But I have to try it because
You got to try to get in the
you
gym. Bro.
are a walking example of love, purity, humanity, strength, perseverance, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
There's people that went through what you go through that last how long to walk again?
11 months,
And
and
how
you-
long
and-
it took you?
8.5 hours.
Sheesh.
Listen, I want to
That's
just look into the camera, zoom in on this when you edit it.
Definitely.
Sensei Carlos, listen, your brain is the strongest muscle in your body.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only, your brain and your heart are the only two things you can't work in the gym. Look at a walking testimony right here.
If he could do it, you could do it.
Listen,
Absolutely. That's definitely the attitude.
walking testimony ahí. Dominicano mangú, salchichón con queso y
lo
cebolla. Hijo de tu madre.
Wait a minute. Time out. Wait.
Ese.
I'm a vegan.
Oh, he don't eat none of that. That's
Oh,
right.
I'm a vegan.
Yeah, but-
the plátano, that's
Yeah.
The plátano is good with no butter. No
How
butter,
long,
right?
how long
No
have
butter.
you been vegan for?
After surgery.
Yeah?
Oh,
I went-
yeah? You just
right
did a
when
change?
when I went into the hospital, I became a pescatarian.
Got you.
2 months later,
Yeah,
a
bro.
pescatarian. A couple months later, a vegan.
Your book
That's crazy.
is going to be impactful. Your life is impactful.
As soon as you drop
Thank
that
you
book,
so
let
much.
us know.
I'm
We'll be
down,
in
Bro,
I'm down.
we-
Actually, it's motivating me to
We
finish
are, listen, bro. Thank you.
Those were your last words?
No, because, nigga, it's Dos Locos podcast. What the
Oh,
fuck
no,
are we?
No, I'm just saying, but any other last words, Flip?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. And
Love
this
always,
is
brother.
this is the first of many.
I want to say for my last words, man, it was a pleasure once again. I know it was long overdue, but it was great to have you on our show, man. We had a great conversation today. I
Loved
can't
it.
wait to air this. It'll be out in a week. And as soon as I air it, I'll put the link. I'll send it to you.
Appreciate
but
it, man.
we definitely want to have you back so we could touch on some more things.
Oh, a lot to talk
Because
about,
I
man.
feel like we didn't even brush half of the stuff we wanted to get to. But we
Yo,
have been
Koso-
talking for about an hour and 6 minutes, which is
Yokozo
great.
Sensei.
So, Yokoso Sensei.
Yokoso Sensei.
Yo, we appreciate you being on our shows. We're going to go to the outro. And any other last words?
It's always love, man. It's
Always love. Always love. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. You heard?
Yep.
Yo, Brooklyn.
You know what it is.
I
That's
like when you
crazy.
shout out Brooklyn, nigga.
Yo, we out of here, man. Dos Locos Podcast, Sensei Carlos, episode 15.
Oíste. Cabrón.
To the bathroom.